Hello, sisters. Welcome to the dark moon in Aries live transmission. I am really excited that we are doing this here. I'm just gonna double check if everything is fine. If you are joining me now or you are going to be watching the replay, I invite you, I welcome you. Welcome to this short space of sharing about the dark feminine message that this lunar cycle holds for us. So, if you're joining, please share with me how you're feeling and what is present with you while I double check if everything else is working on my end. Looks like I'd love to hear where you're joining from. Please put that in the chat and also share with me what is present for you right now as we are entering a new lunar cycle. I'm excited. This is the first um, lunar month of the new astrological year, the new zodiac cycle, and hence my intention was to show up here and share with you. And I'm gonna double check. Right. All right, so today in this time together, I will be briefly sharing about some of the energies that is present with the Aries, and most importantly, the message from our dark feminine, so that we can utilize them for our highest good. I know for those of us moon lovers, we go into intention settings every new moon, and working with the dark feminine is has been a part of my life for quite a few years right now. And what I know is that we need to do this work before we go into new moon intention settings. So before we go into setting our intentions for this lunar cycle, it is important that we listen to the dark feminine messages that we have been given to, so that our intentions come from a place of integrity and not wishy-washy. So I'll be sharing some of that. I'll also share some crucial journaling question for you to dive into, preferably before you go into the new moon setting. I'll do an oracle reading towards the end for those who will be live here with me then, and by then. And make sure you have a journal, pen, paper handy to write down. What I like to say is that the dark moon is a time where we are given the space to analyze a lot of ignored part of our feminine. So this is the day also where we feel super heightened as women, as we being the lunar creatures. We feel heightened in our emotions and in mostly in our dark emotions. So we may be um, feeling some kind of heaviness around. So it's important to give attention to that. So feel free to share how you're feeling. It's important to note that as a central point to begin your further investigation. So as I share some things about the Aries cycle and the dark feminine energies relating to that, what I invite you to do is to feel into what truly resonates for you as I share. And if you feel like if you have a question, you want to share something, please put that in the chat. I will be responding to it. If there's a delay, I don't think so as of now, but I will be also coming back to it and responding to it. So feel free to ask any question or share any resonance if something resonates. It's always good to see that, so that I'm not just talking to myself. And it is always also good for other women to read or to get inspired by your own sharing. So another thing that I want to say is that I'm not a teacher of astrology, but I have worked and known and studied very carefully, taught as well the energies, and I know different cycles different zodiac has different energies, and all of that energy is present within us as well. So you may be an Aries, a Taurus, or a Libra person, or a Virgo, but we all have all the 12 signs and the energies within ourselves, and which is why during the lunar cycle of a particular energy, those emotions may become heightened. So when we do our intention settings for the new moon, it always works in our favor when we utilize the existing cosmic energies to set our intentions. So, in short, these energies are present whether you choose it or not. In fact, our dark feminine brings those up for us, but it's our choice if we want to acknowledge and create from that space, or if we want to just ignore and carry forward. So I'd love to hear how you are feeling. If there is any particular emotion that you have been noticing since the last couple of days, then I'd love to hear that. Or since today, please share with me in the chat. So the dark moon, also the dark moon energy is usually before 2-3 days before and after the new moon. So that's when the dark feminine energy is quite present. And we will, which is why I like to share these messages so that we can find resonance and then we can work with it. And then I know the women that I work with, we are quite intrigued by what our dark feminine is, and how we can work and create a beautiful relationship of inhabiting together in this body. Hey, Ines, lovely to see you here. How are you? How are you feeling? Let me take a deep breath here. So the Aries energy, it is the first sign of the zodiac cycle, the beginning of the new astrological year, and it is a fire sign. So fire sign, the name itself, yeah, gives us a lot. The fire sign, it's a very initiating energy, which is why we always, feel the sense of like, okay, something is going to begin now, some newness, some freshness. So this initiating energy is inviting us to get up and start making, forward movements, start taking actions. We've now kind of come to a slow transition from the deep winter, and in many places it is still winter, but we are noticing changes around and the energy rising. So that is also reflected within us. And energy, this fire sign, the energy of this fire is about passion. It's about moving forward. It's about feeling more into our desires than hey, Falak. Hi, it's about feeling more into our desires than into our fears. And that comes very naturally to us during this time of the year of the Earth transition. So let me know if this resonates. Do you feel a sense of, a new beginning, or an initiation, or you feel the sense of like, okay, I'm moving forward, that something needs to be happening now, something new, you're longing for something new, and that's also fine because that's your desire. So that's the energy that Aries has. And this energy, this fiery energy, can also be very impulsive. um, and like when you feel things bubbling inside of you, you feel that impulse, and which is very good in at times. It can help us make the right leap forward. It can help us shift out of our stagnancy if we are feeling that. So if you are feeling any of these, don't be surprised, you're not the only one as well. Of course, it's crazy. Yes, it is. So don't be surprised, because it is absolutely normal. And for many of us it is also many of us are feeling this, this newness, this freshness, and this deep longing. Like something needs to change right now. Like I have to do something, to create something new, to bring the life to something. And we might be feeling that, and we might be not even accepting that. We are listening to those whispers inside of us, but we are not truly saying it out loud. So that is also a possibility, and that's also fine. So that's also fine. This energy of Aries, interestingly, is a childlike sign. It's the energy of playfulness and curiosity and innocence. To lean into what else is possible. Doing things that are much more alive, like the flowers blossoming. We've come from a winter slump. We've been to, shut down and serious, and now you will feel more and more that automatically your body wants to, have fun, do something to make it more alive, start something new. So these are like very common energies associated with this time of the year and this lunar cycle, and which is why it's a beautiful time to utilize them, use those, integrate them. Another interesting energy that is present is, if you look at the sign of the symbol of this zodiac, it's the horn, the ram's horn, which also means which also symbolizes um, motivation and self-direction. It symbolizes great survival instincts. So these are the energies that are already present for us in this 28 days of the lunar cycle. So let me know if you're feeling any of these energies. And even if you're not feeling these energies, before you go into your intention setting for this new moon, you can utilize these energies to sync with your new moon intentions. But today, I want to talk to you about the dark feminine messages of this time, of this lunar cycle. And as I said in the beginning, is that the messages from the dark feminine, specifically if you're a woman, if you're in a woman's body, they show up every time, every lunar cycle during this time, like 3 days before and after the new moon. You will feel like heightened emotions. Like you will, one moment you're going to be really excited, another moment you'll be really upset or angry, and your emotions will be all over the place. And this does not mean that you have gone crazy or you've lost it, or you're not good enough. It only means that this is a potent time that we can fine tune um, by understanding our emotional response, our emotional patterns. Because the dark feminine always brings forward the messages to us that are present beneath the surface layer of what we see. Which is why I said that many of us may be feeling all of this rising, nice, bubbly energy, but we're scared to even admit, because what if things just don't work out as we want to? So let me know if there is any resonance. I'd love to hear if there is any resonance with whatever I'm sharing. So your dark feminine is nothing bad, but aspect of your feminine wanting to be seen, acknowledged. So I want to share with you few important traits, the dark feminine traits of Aries, and feel into what resonates with you. Maybe one thing will resonate with you, maybe few, maybe all of them, or maybe none. But the most important thing is that you invite and allow yourself to fully feel and become honest with yourself. This is an inquiry that you are doing with yourself, and I will not um, force you to share anything with me, but I will be provoking you to become honest with yourself. Yeah, Falak, body stiffness and weakness. Yeah, body stiffness is um, a good one, a good example of how the dark feminine is showing. So I'm going to share some of the traits and see how you resonate. One of the first dark feminine trait of this energy lunar cycle is childishness. So I said as before that this Aries brings this childlike energy, so it's quite exciting, exploring, fun, flowers blossoming. What else is possible? But what happens is the other side, the other spectrum of it is that where are we becoming careless in the name of being childlike? You know, where what we want in the moment, what are we not caring for? What are we becoming careless? And we, as I said, this dark feminine speaks to us all the time. We just do not acknowledge her whispers because we do not like to hear those for our own selves or about our own selves. So where is it in your life that you think that you are making excuses, you're not caring for something that is important, because of the childishness, but you're making excuses of not being serious in that particular important aspect? Something to feel into. Yeah. It can be in the form of procrastination as well. Because sometimes we're like, haha, we'll do it next time, or not today, maybe later. Oh, okay, yeah, we will see next time. So, you know, we don't take that seriously, and something that is important to us. So this is like the opposite spectrum of the Aries energy. Another opposite spectrum of the Aries energy is impatience. Where are you losing your temper? What aspect? Where in your life? What circumstance? Is it a person? Where are you losing your temper? Yeah. So, the invitation here is to think into, like, am I really acting like this? Is this an emotional response in my life right now? And as I said, the thing that you got to do is to simply become aware of it, because the awareness will lead you somewhere. But the dark feminine is inviting your awareness for now. Yeah. Hey, Kimberly, I feel like suddenly getting up and getting things done, anxious to get it done. Yeah. So this rising energy. So you're feeling this rising energy. Yes, yes. Many of us are feeling that. Hmm. Another dark feminine trait that can show up for you, that might be present, is being too headstrong. So as I said, that the light side of Aries is the two horn, which is like, very motivated, self-directed. On the other side of that spectrum, we can become too headstrong, like too much in our head, too much driven by our egos. um, it can show up in the time in the form of competitiveness in any ways that we are showing. um, it can also show up in the ways of becoming too self-absorbed, just only thinking about, okay, I need to do this for myself, I need to take care of myself, I need to do this to protect myself, I need to, it's all fine, but there are certain times where we just become like too I, and we do it from a standpoint of lacking the other's perspective. The I part is really good and important, but not without others' perspective. So you can tune into where you're acting this way. Is there any time? Hey, Linda, Tammy is here as well. Can I ask, how are these things you describe related to the dark feminine? Not just general shadow aspect, but both feminine, just shadow, but for both feminine and masculine ego. Yes. The reason I say this is that these are the messages from your dark feminine is because of the lunar time of the cycle. So when you come from the Vedic astrology, what is said to be present is that a couple of um, days before the new moon and up to 5 days after the new moon is the feminine time of the lunar cycle. So the feminine time of the lunar cycle brings up various aspects of our feminine that has been cast away in the dark. So I differentiate dark feminine with shadow feminine because usually shadow feminine work is about, finding that aspect of yourself that is the shadow, which is the opposite, and then working to resolve the shadow. The work with the dark feminine is not about resolving what is present in the dark, but acknowledging it and then utilizing that knowledge, that information to amp up your light. Which is why when you go into the new moon intention setting, it wants to provide you a space that you are using the information of your dark feminine to bring more light to your intention settings for the new moon. So I know, so if I start just telling about words, then it can become masculine, feminine, and all of that. But what I'm mostly referring is the time of the lunar cycle and the aspects that it invokes in ourselves, the aspect that we are required to listen inside of ourselves. And oftentimes, yes, our dark feminine will tell us about tell us information about our dark masculine or something to work with our shadow. So all of these things will come up, but the way works through the dance of the dark feminine. And the dark feminine is the aspect of our feminine that requires acknowledgement, and this is what the dark goddesses teach us. The dark goddesses teach us, they mirror, they show us the mirror. That's how we work with the dark goddesses of different archetypes, because they show something of their aspect to us, within us. So it's slightly different with the shadow feminine. And I have a lot of other resources about the dark feminine available in different places. If you really want more explanation, I'm really happy to share. Okay, so I was talking about ego driven, and you can think about, okay, let's do a quick recap about the dark feminine messages, which is highlighted during this time, the Aries time. So one of them is just, being irresponsible, like a childlike, so that aspect of our childness, where are we procrastinating or showing our irresponsibility, knowing that's something that is important. Where are we losing our temper against person, circumstance, like we are just becoming impatient. And these are just our emotional responses that I'm asking you to notice, because this has information for us that you can use to put your intentions down for new moon. So so headstrong, being too in the head, too me centered, doing it my way, and and lacking, and doing it my way is fine. I love my way, but it becomes ego driven and not from a space of heart when we lack others perspective. So tuning into where you're acting this way. Another dark feminine message that is present right now is the energy of fire itself, since Aries is the fire energy. It is this fiery energy. Yeah, like Kali, she's this fiery. But this fire energy, the dark side of this fire energy is the destruction. Yeah. So again, looking into our emotional responses about where we are being self-destructive, in the ways we treat ourselves, in the ways that we are not acting out of integrity, in the ways that we are denying certain things to ourselves, knowingly, consciously. And we do that. We all do that. We do not keep up words and promises to ourselves. Um, so again, picking up on that, um, as I said before, that one thing may resonate with you, all of it may resonate with you, or one or two things may resonate with you. Just take one thing and work with it, and that's all you are required. Which is why I love that, the manifestation works every lunar cycle, so you don't have to think about everything right now. You have the next lunar cycle to work with the next thing that will be very present for you. So don't feel like, oh my god, I'm all of this and I'm screwed and I'm doomed and I don't know what else to do. I don't want you to feel that way. um, but stick with what stands out for you. One or two things that stands out for you that you can really use to while setting your new moon intention. Yeah. um, Another way that dark feminine is speaking to us during this time is obviously through our body. So we might end up having imbalances in our head, like headaches, if you're feeling headache, um, some kind of um, flares, pimples, rashes, something skin related. This is also an emotional response to some kind of neglected emotion. So, having said all of this, what is much of importance is for you to right now feel into what is life asking of you right now. We are in the new cycle, in the new beginning of the new astrological year, the new zodiac, the rising fiery energy. So, whatever you might be feeling, whatever your emotional response is, and if you picked up on one or two, really feel into what requires right action in your life right now. Because Aries is also the action, the moving forward energy. So if you want, you can note down this journaling question and give yourself some time later today or tomorrow before doing your new moon intention. Identify what requires right action in your life right now, and allow yourself to fully feel into it rather than going into the hows, the what, the when. Fully feeling into where is this frustration? Is this about a situation? Is it about work? Is it about codependency? Walking past the fears? So, what is it? Like, what right action is required in your life right now? And the next question you can journal is what newness you can add to the situation, what freshness you can bring. And while thinking of answer for this journaling question in particular, feel into your inner childlike energy. Where can you bring the newness, the eyes of innocence and curiosity in this? Hey, Lib, sister, long time. So that's what I wanted to share. I'm curious if anything stood out in particular for you as I shared about the dark feminine messages. Um, if you noted down the journaling question, yeah, the first question is identify what requires right action in your life right now. And the second question is what newness you can add to that situation. Yeah. And Since this is a fiery energy, one of the things that you can do is I like to always involve embodiment practices. So you can do fire gazing, which is a beautiful meditative practice. While you, after you have journaled about this aspects, you can go into fire gazing, which is if you have a fireplace or make a fire and just looking into, simply looking into the flames, you receive the fire energy. And you can again, once again, do all of this before the new moon intention setting. You can I have a meditation video of fire gazing as well on YouTube. You can have a look, it's available to public. You can even light a candle if that's too much. You can just light a candle in the dark and just gaze upon the flame, and just allow yourself this meditative space for at least 5 minutes. What is required of your feminine is this space, the void space, the space of emptiness. Only then you become creative with your intentions. Because I know we go into new moon intention settings, a lot of teachers teach, write a list, write the 10, 20 intentions. We keep doing that every new moon, which may be right, but what I like is that, what I know is that I want to also manifest those intentions, not simply keep writing those intentions month after month. And creation, receiving, manifestation always comes from a space of void, which is what the dark moon is about. Fire energy oddly makes me calm. Water energy makes me anxious. Wow, it's quite interesting. But yeah, looking to the flame is a very calming thing. In fact, it's really good for your eyes as well. It is in Ayurveda in India. When you go for certain Ayurvedic retreats, then they take you through this fire meditation because it's really good for your eyesight. It relaxes your nerves of in around the eyes, so which is why you feel relaxed. And so I'm not surprised, sister, if you say that. Another thing you can do is, dance with your anger, since it's the fiery energy. And once you have journaled and whatever has come up for you, dance it out. Um, PM me later if you want some good music to dance out with, especially your anger, your the dark feminine, and the stuckness, the stagnancy of the situation has the potentiality to be released through movement. And those of you who have taken my womb rage course, digital guide, then this is the time again to go back and do your the Tandav ceremony that I teach, the Kali dance, the dragon breath work, and all of that. It's perfect time to work with those embodiment practices as well. So I'm curious if you have any questions. Interesting, Linda. Thank you for sharing that. So whatever it is, I want to leave you with something that a new beginning is here. We've come out of the winter slump. We're coming out of it slowly, and so take this energy, and you have the capacity. And if you're here and you're listening, that means like there is a strong desire and intention. So you have the energy and capacity to shape your energy into any way that you desire, because you are a powerful creator. So having said this, I am curious if anyone would like an oracle reading for your dark feminine. And the way I do it is, for those who have been here in my community, I usually work with the card, which is the, hold on, it's called the Sacred Union. If you actually look at it, where's my camera? Sacred Union, and it has both light and dark sides of the oracle deck. And what it has is basically just traits, simply traits. just one word. So these are just like one words. And if you are into oracle reading, then you know that it always works. It always works. You always get the right word. And what this word shows is that if there is anything that requires any acknowledgement that we need for this lunar cycle. So I'm gonna go. Okay, Liv, I'm gonna begin with this. And this is quite a simple oracle deck. Not much of a visual representation, but just a word that might bring something for you. Okay, Lib. So what came out for you is, I don't know if it's mirrored, materialistic. So we can explore this dark aspect within ourselves, that where have we again become too materialistic about what thing. It could be also related to the dark side, that we become strong-headed, and we just lacking others perspective. So see if it fits in for you. Where have you become materialistic? And if nothing comes up, it's okay as well. Write it down in your journal. Maybe something will come up today, tomorrow. Usually it just hits you right away. But it is, the word is materialistic. And you are the best interpreter of this word, how this works for you. Okay, Kimberly, this one is for you. So your word is possessive. Yeah. So feel into where you are feeling possessive or have been acting possessive about circumstance or even a desire. Oftentimes we just get so tight about a desire and we want it certain way that we disregard several other opportunities that could be present, or something else that requires our attention. If it resonates with you, think about what this word brings up for you. You're welcome, Sister Liv. Materialistic, I have to think about it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And oftentimes it doesn't have to be something big. It can be like really simple and really small. A little thing, a little shift you can make, like a very small shift you can make. And I forgot to say the usual things that they say on YouTube. If you found this useful, please give me a like on YouTube. Tammy, one is for you. Oh, this is Sister Tammy. This one is for you. Judgmental. So once again, thinking about where you are too judgmental. Is it yourself? Is it someone else? Is it a situation around you? Where you can ease out a little bit, what requires your attention. And I'm sure you're good in identifying those pieces. Thank you, Kimberly, for sharing. Yeah, obsessed. Yeah, possessive. Yeah, thank you for sharing. Ines, this one is for you. That's interesting. Seeking. So, seeking. What is the shadow seeking? Yeah, what is the dark seeking? So, this is often, like the shiny object syndrome that many of us suffer with. Um, we're always seeking to improve certain things within ourselves. We want to do this. We want to, we think that we need to do more courses, more opportunities, more work on ourselves to represent ourselves in a way that we desire. So sometimes you can just really get stuck in that seeking. And what we do is that whatever we already have or possess or know, we forget to imply those, and we are too busy seeking. So let me know if that resonates with you. Falak, this one is for you. Disorganized. So thinking about where you are being disorganized. Again, this is also in resonance with one of the dark feminine messages for Aries, is um, which was about acting childish in a way that we are running away from something or procrastinating. So where are we disorganized? So you can feel into that and see if anything comes up and if anything resonates. And once again, it can be really one thing or a little thing. Sometimes for me, it is literally going and cleaning my room, like little things like that, or something big. Tammy, yeah, sit with it and see the judgment. My pleasure. If that resonates. Yeah. Linda, I'd like a card if there's enough time. Yes, yes, I'd love to. I'd love to. Ah. So the word that came up is rebellious. So, sister, think of it if this resonates with you. If there is an aspect that you are being rebellious about, and that is ego driven. Yeah, that is ego driven and not coming from a heart space or highest good. Oftentimes we share our truth and then we want it to be acknowledged. But what I have learned is that if we are not coming from a space of heart centeredness and love and expressing our disagreement, then that's not our truth. So I hope this brings some light to your darkness. You're welcome, Sister Ines. I always forget to look where I am already, always thinking to improve and evolve. I know, that's why I was so amazed to see this card for you. And you are so ready, Sister. I keep telling you this. You are so ready. You are already there. So that's about it from me, sisters. I think I've covered everything and all the little nuggets that I wanted to share with you. Um, I'm looking forward to how you are going ahead with your new moon intentions. I'll be sharing more inside the Exploring Femininity Sisterhood group. So I hope that you are able to share your intentions. Feel free if this working with the dark moon. So sit and journal with the dark moon questions that I gave you and see if that leads you to some awareness that you can use those one or two aspects to set new moon intentions. And intentions work best when we really choose to work with one or two in a lunar cycle, not like 10, because it's not just about writing down intentions. When you set an intention, you are required to become a co-creator with that intention. Every day it becomes your responsibility to energize that intention in certain ways, to create with that intention in certain ways throughout the lunar cycle. That's how you manifest. And I teach a lot about it in Manifest with New Moon Ritual Guide, how to not just set intentions every new moon, but how to manifest, the process of manifestation in itself. So, which is why choose good one or two intentions and work with it throughout the cycle, lunar cycle. Next cycle, you get to do it again. So you're not going to miss out on the 10, 20 things that you like. But as they always say that energy flows where attention goes, and your intentions require your attention throughout the lunar cycle. So Give that to yourself. All right, sister. So that's about it. And I'm going to end here. New moon blessings to you. For those of you who are going to be creating, ritualizing this time, and in any ways, whatever is coming up for your feminine, you are a powerful creator and you have the capacity to hold and transmute everything that is coming up for you. So thank you for working the dark feminine. It's the work of the courageous souls, like I always say, and you are one of them. So thank you very much. Oh, Melissa, if you found this useful, please share this video with any other women who would be interested in this work, and I'll be super grateful to you about that. And I'll see you inside the Exploring Femininity Sisterhood group. If there are any questions that you want to ask me in private, then please feel free to personal message me, and I'll be with you. Big love from India. Bye bye.